Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Barcelona's victory yesterday against Mallorca. We're going to be talking about Madrid as well, as they do drop points against Athletic Club, which is absolutely fantastic. And towards the end of the video, we're going to be talking about Borussia Dortmund attacker Malen. Is he an option for Barcelona? But guys, before I get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get straight into the video. All right, guys, let's get straight into the video. And before we talk about Barcelona's victory against Mallorca, we do have to talk a little bit about Madrid's defeat away from home in the San Mamés to Athletic Club. Now, I didn't watch the match, but knowing how Real Madrid they do drop points, this is absolutely huge for Barcelona. I do know that Mbappe he did miss a penalty, so back-to-back penalty misses, the penalty miss against Liverpool and the penalty miss today against Athletic Club. Now, I don't know which, Athletic Club players did perform, but the most important thing that comes from this result is the league table. Because, for example, when you look at the league table right here, you can see that Barcelona, we are in first place. We remain in first place, and we have a 4-point lead over Real Madrid. And what does this mean? With Real Madrid having one game in hand, even if they win that game in hand against Valencia, that means that they're still going to be 1 point. No, they're actually going to be even with us on. No, actually, what am I talking about? They're going to be 1 point behind us, and that means that Barcelona, we have the power back in our hands. If Barcelona win every single game towards the end of the season, all the remaining games, then Barcelona will be crowned La Liga champions. The power to win La Liga is back in our hands. We don't have to be relying on any other team, any other results. That's absolutely fantastic news. But obviously, both Madrid and Barcelona, they are going to be dropping points throughout the entirety of the season. No team is going to be remaining perfect. This is absolutely huge for Barcelona. And this is why it's important, to win those games, because you put pressure on your opposition. You put pressure on Real Madrid in Atletico Madrid by winning early, by winning the day before. And that's absolutely huge result. I want to congratulate Athletic Club for, that performance. And now we talk about some good news. We talk about Barcelona's victory over Mallorca. And I want to start talking about Lamine Yamal, guys, because we do know how important Lamine Yamal has been to Barcelona throughout this season. And the stats reflect that. In the 12 matches that Lamine Yamal has started, Barcelona have won every single one. And in the 4 matches which Lamine Yamal has not started, Barcelona have drawn once, and we've registered 3 losses. And Lamine Yamal is our best player in the team. He is the difference maker. Raphinha spoke about it in yesterday's press conference. He said, when Lamine Yamal is on the pitch, he's the one who can make the difference. And I absolutely agree. When we look at some of these passes, yesterday, and not only yesterday, but as well, for example, this pass against Villarreal, this pass, against Espanyol, and this pass against Mallorca, the quality and the ability to make these passes absolutely absurd. That Trivela pass is actually becoming his trademark pass. And he actually, he changed his profile picture on Instagram to this photo right here. Well, like him making this pass, but this Trivela pass is becoming one of his trademarks. And if Lamine Yamal is able to develop these skills and consistently give these passes, then he's going to be even racking up more and more assists. And these are the type of passes that a world-class winger and a world-class player can make. And this is why sometimes Barcelona they do struggle without Lamine, but Barcelona, they do have to find ways to win without Lamine, because just like we've seen in these past couple of weeks, if Lamine Yamal is not there, then Barcelona, they do struggle. But, that's just like every other team. Every team, for example, when your key players are injured, you are not going to put in the same type of performance, but you can have those lost performances lead to, for example, dropped points. You still need to get the job done. But Lamine Yamal with the touch of magic against Mallorca. And funny enough, guys, actually, Raphinha, for that second goal in which Raphinha did score. It was a penalty awarded to Barcelona, and Raphinha, he approached Lamine and he offered him to take the penalty, but Lamine Yamal said no, as he wanted Raphinha as the captain to take responsibility. And I think that's how the whole situation should have been done. I applaud Lamine for that mindset. Barcelona yesterday in that situation, they were in a precarious situation. If Raphinha were to miss that penalty, the game could have gone in a completely different manner. We could have ended up losing or drawing. And Raphinha stepping up as the captain, handling that responsibility, that burden of having to score, he did tremendously well. And when we talk about how well Raphinha has been playing this season, guys, Raphinha has been absolutely world class, and he's actually making a challenge for that Ballon d'Or. When we look at his stats this season, he's played 21 matches, which equates to roughly 1,800 minutes around there. He has 16 goals and 8 assists combined with a 24 GA. So he's gaining 1.2 GA per 90. That's absolutely insane. We also look at some of the chances that he creates. 68 chances created, 20 big chances, 28 dribbles. He has the joint most GA in La Liga, joint most goals and assists in the UCL as well. And that's only to talk about his ability on the ball. We do know how much work he does off the ball, pressing, the intensity, the hard work that he brings. And Raphinha right now, my goodness, man, he's a player that represents us as Barcelona fan. Not only what he's doing with the ball, but as well without it. He shows the love for the club in every single interview. He basically talks about the winning mentality. He talks about how much it means to him and to the squad to be at Barcelona. And that image right here in which he is kissing the Barcelona badge, that is absolutely amazing, man. And Rafinha is a player that I've grown to love in this team. And guys, I ask you, looking at how these players are performing, could we see Raphinha win the Ballon d'Or at the end of the season? Or are you guys saying, you know what, let's see what trophies are won and then we can have that discussion? But when we talk about Barcelona a little bit, as a whole, Barcelona, we've actually scored the most away goals in the top 5 leagues. Barcelona, they have 35 goals, Bayern Munich in second with 33, and Atalanta in 27. And when Barcelona, they have those front four clicking, when you have a Rafinha absolutely on fire, world class, when you have Lewandowski, the best striker in the world right now, and when you have, Lamine Yamal as well, stringing those fantastic passes, then you're going to be getting results like this and stats like this. And Barcelona right now, absolutely causing havoc whenever we travel away from home. But I also want to talk about these stats by Barca Buzz, and this is Barcelona's average positions and pass map versus Mallorca. And one of the big things that I did see, let me make sure you guys can see it a little bit more clearly. But one of the key differences that I've saw, for example, in the pass map against Las Palmas, is there wasn't really any output on this right hand side. Now we know that Lamine Yamal likes to hold his width sometimes, but he also likes to cut inside. And with Jules Koundé out in the right back spot, we do know that he isn't a player to bomb forward. Compare that to the position, for example, of Alejandro Balde right here, the number 3, who is always constantly overlapping. And it's just interesting to see how Barcelona, in the map against, in the pass map against Mallorca, we were mostly focusing on that left hand side. And when we also look at the Barcelona shots compared to that of Mallorca, you can see how many shots Barcelona took, in total of 20 shots, and we only scored 5 goals, and most of them were actually inside the box. And what's worrying is when you look at the shots that Mallorca took, they were all inside the box, but they have relatively little shots. And out of the 6 shots, they scored 1 goal. Their XG per shot was much higher than Barcelona. It is worrying, for example, that the opposition can have 1 or 2 shots, and one of those 2 shots will be converted into a goal. But it's understandable because Barcelona, they play with such a high line that when the opposition is able to break that high line, able to time their runs to perfection, then it's relatively simple for them to score. That's why Barcelona have to be so focused and making sure that high line is absolutely perfect, because the lack of concentration and focus can harm us. But guys, before we move on and we talk about Malen, what were your thoughts about yesterday's match? We talked about in the match reaction and we talked about some of the fallout. What were your sensations after the match, especially looking at how Real Madrid dropped points? Absolutely amazing. But not only are we talking about Malen, a player who right now is open to a departure from Borussia Dortmund this winter if an offer for between roughly 25 to 30 million euros is given to Borussia Dortmund. Now, this report is given by Paletti Gol and Sky Germany, and it's interesting to see how Malen, who is sort of a striker, he can play in both flanks, is open to a departure. And right now, his ambitions is not to join, for example, a team that is fighting for European places, but a team that is competing for titles such as Barcelona or Arsenal. Now that is the information given in the report, and with his contract ending in 2026, Borussia Dortmund, they are open to letting him go, and this is very, very interesting. There are also some Premier League teams that are interested, such as Everton, Nottingham Forest, Brentford, and Crystal Palace. But if Malen were to come to Barcelona for the price tag between of 25 to 30 million euros, would you guys be open to him coming? Now, Malen, I think he's a good player. I haven't seen much of him, but I will say that in the little I have seen in some of his highlights, he's been a solid player. He's not a player that I would be spending, tons of money, who I would be, looking to be a marquee signing. But as a backup option and as a rotational player, he is what we would need. And knowing how Barcelona were thin in, that front line, and knowing how we do need to reinforce our attack, he could be an option in the January winter transfer market. And Borussia Dortmund, they are open to selling him. This is something that Barcelona, they are exploring and everything. And we talked about it before, but Malen to Barcelona, what are your guys' thoughts in regards to that? But guys, that was it for the video for today. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts on everything that's discussed on today's video. And guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.